Should have, when you have 30 minutes, 30 seconds, I'm going to remind you. Sure.
A very good afternoon to everyone. This is V S Rajashekhar from Department of Design, IIT-Kanpur. I am a PhD scholar. Today I am going to talk about the key dimensions for human-robot interaction in extended reality. The extended reality is nothing but the XR for rescue robots. I'll be shortly talking about the literature, gaps in the literature, the interaction between the human and the robot, the key dimensions, the Sankey diagram, which is the main contribution, an example with the conclusions. As you all know that the earthquakes happen at random times at random places in the world. This is the data from the Hanshin Hawaji earthquake, which happened in 1995, which said that there were dead bodies which were taken out even after 10 days after the incident, and live bodies were taken out after 4 days after the incident. So if these live bodies were able to be taken out as early as possible, the number of dead bodies could have reduced. So this first in this rate, we are planning to use extended reality with human-robot interaction. A short literature on the robots used in post-disaster conditions. These are robots which were used in Japan during the Fukushima nuclear power plant disaster. So here you can see the robot being used with a combination of wired and wireless communications. This is during the Italy earthquake, where a mobile robot was used with a half humanoid on top to go inside buildings and check for cracks. This is a quite recent one in 2017, where the snake robot from CMU was used in Mexico earthquake. So as you can see over here, the person is holding a bucket on top so that the person can see this laptop screen properly, so that they can control the robot in a particular way as they expect. So this kinds of problem occur when they actually take the robot to the field. So the gap in the literature is as follows. The extended reality for medium for teleoperation is yet to be implemented. The merits and demerits of soft robots and rigid body robots need to be understood, and the Sankey diagram with the key dimensions have to be implemented. So for those who are new to this term Sankey diagram, this is the Sankey diagram which connects most of the features together and establish a connection so that the entire system would work. Coming to the question, why soft robots? The soft robots we are planning to use soft robots in this case. These two robots are snake robots, which we designed in our lab. This is a rigid body snake robot, this is a soft body snake robot. So soft robots have the ability to observe collision, they resist bending, and they are deformable. The interaction usually happens between the human, either on the head and the leg, in a virtual environment, and it is connected to the remote environment where the earthquake has happened. So in this case, we are using the two robots which we have proposed. So there is a review paper which came out in this year, which talks about the key dimensions which are needed for remote human-robot interaction using XR. So the key concepts are the extended reality technologies, where head-mounted displays are being used, and cave kind of environment is needed. The second most important thing is the interaction modalities, whether it's a keyboard or a mouse or a joystick. The third is the virtual environment interface. The fourth is the user perspective. Fifth is the robot and the task classification. Sixth is the enhancement location. So this is the Sankey diagram which you can see over here. Here the XR technology is connected to the interaction modality, followed by the robot, and the task is done by the robot, along with the user perspective, with the virtual interface and the enhancement location, along with the enhancement type. So what happens here exactly is, during the disaster, some element in each item will be available, and we should try to establish a connection between these items. For example, the headset is available, the avatar symbols are available to show humans who are stuck inside, and the mobile robot is available. So we try to bridge all the things which are unavailable using the Sankey diagram which I showed earlier. So we create a relationship. So coming to the conclusions, so I presented a Sankey diagram which had the key dimensions needed for the extended reality for human-robot interaction. The problems faced during the search operations were discussed. The two snake robots were presented, and the 6 key dimensions were discussed in detail. The mapping of these dimensions were done using the Sankey diagram. So this work, we aim to propose a method to map the dimensions for extended reality in human-robot interaction. That's it from my side. Any questions from the audience? I'll be happy to answer.
So Rajashekhar, you got in time, see? Okay. The audience? Okay, so I have a question. So this was part of some course or some exploration that you were doing in India?
No, this is a part of my PhD.
Yes. So how did you start with? This is you're going to extend your PhD.
Yeah.
So this is like a pilot.
Yeah, pilot. That was the review paper which I showed.
Right.
So what are the key elements required is the first thing which we need to identify, and with that I will be establishing the system.
And you are working with some agency, government agency?
Not as of now, but we are trying to.
And where do you think this can fit in or plug in into particular scenarios?
For the NDRF basically.
Right.
So what happens is we cannot wait for a disaster to happen and learn from it.
Right.
So in the virtual environment, we simulate the disaster and we give that to the NDRF people and we will ask them to work
This will
on
come
it.
into the training and
Training especially.
okay. So any question, guys?
Is it possible to go to your main slide, Sankey diagram?
Yeah.
Yes. So these parameters, so have they been derived from the literature, or is there any other way to find novel new parameters?
Yeah, this has been derived from this literature. The paper is down. Systematic review on extended reality-based remote human-robot interaction systems.
So my question is, if you have to find new parameters which have never been addressed in the literature, what would you do?
So, which category, whether it's extended reality or which of the 6 parameters it would fall under, first we need to decide. And we have to bring the.
It need not follow under 6. Can there be
there can be a 7th parameter also.
How can we find that?
We can find, for instance, for example, if a task was not there, in between which and which the action would fall under, we need to just make an analysis and we have to put that inside that. For example, initially we didn't prepare for tasks, we had only 5 of them in between. So if search operation is a task, rescuing body is a task, supplying food is a task, supplying oxygen is a task. So we need to, the robo does the task and that is done by the human, and we have to add a column in between. We need to do some thinking, thought process has to be there, and we have to do it.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
So I have worked on similar problem statement in Smart India Hackathon. It was given by NDRF itself.
Okay.
So I was working on VR game development,
Okay.
which was about solving the same problem.
Okay.
So game mechanics is very important. The interactions which NDRF people usually do in that game or training or simulator, it is a very important aspect. So what research focus is your paper is right now having? You are focusing on interaction, or you are focusing on the chapters or the modules which should be given to the NDRF people? What is your focus right now?
So focus is on the interaction of the robo in the extended reality environment. How the robo will interact with the disaster in the virtual environment.
Okay, so you are saying that robot will be in that situation rather than that NDRF person.
No, NDRF person will operate the robo in that virtual reality.
Okay, he will be preparing in robot, wearing headset also.
Yeah, he'll have the robot in his hand and he'll be taking, for instance, if it is a collapsed building, he will insert a camera with a robotic arm inside the building and he will check. The robot will be in his hand.
I will happy to connect with you later on.
Sure.
So thank you, Rajashekhar. Maybe have a round of applause for Rajashekhar. Okay. And I'm a bit sorry because I have to skip a